family kindly comes to the first row. Rabbi Meir McGency will be officiating. For those of you who are here, please be sure that your phones have been turned off so they don't disturb the sacred funeral ceremony. And we welcome those of you who are joining us online. Following the tradition, we're going to begin with Tehillim.
Ashri Aish Asher Lo Halach Ba'atzas Rishaim V'derech Chataim Lo Amad V'moshav Latzim Lo Yashav Ki'im B'soras Adonai Chefso U'B'soraso Yegeh Yomam V'layla Vaya Ke'etz Shasu Al Palge Mayim Asher Piryo Yitain Bi'ito Va'alehu Lo Yibol V'chol Asher Ya'aseh Yatzliach Lo Chen Harishaim Ki'im Kamotz Asher Tidfenu Ruach Al Kain Lo Yakumu Rishaim B'mishpat V'chataim Ba'adas Tzadikim Ki Yodea Adonai Derech Tzadikim V'derech Rishaim Toved.
Mizmor LeDavid, Adonai mi yagor b'halecha, mi yishkam b'har kadshecha. Olech tamim ufoel tzedek, v'dover emes bilvavo. Lo ragal al lishono, lo asa l're'ehu ra'a, v'cherpa lo nasa Al Kirovo, Nivze Be'enav Nim'as, V'es Yira'ei Adonai Yichabed, Nishpa Lahara V'lo Yamir, Kaspo Lo Nasan B'neshech, V'shochad Al Naki Lo Lakach, Ose Eile Lo Yimot L'olam.
We're not going to do the Kilmore. We'll do Hespedim first.
Okay, but we have one more.
Yeah. Can we do that? Yeah.
Mizmor LeDavid, Adonai Roi Lo Echzar, Bin Ozdesh Yarbitzeini, Al Mei Menuchos Yinahaleni, Nafshi Yeshovev Yancheni, B'maglei Tzedek, Liman Shemo. Gam ki elech begeit salmaves, lo ira ra ki ata imadi. Shiftecha umishantecha, hema yanachamuni, tarach lefanai shochan, neged sorarai. Dishanta v'shem en roshi kosi revaya, achto v'chesed yirdefuni, kol yemei chayai, yishavti beveis Adonai, la'orech yamim.
When Yosef Gershom ben Menachem Aryeh's life ended, he left behind Sharon, his life partner for 50 years, his 3 children, Sandra, Meira, and Michael, to whom Joel was devoted and took great pride in their accomplishments, his mother, and 3 siblings. Joel was a very spiritual person who was on a lifelong quest to become a better Jew, to become a better educated Jew. Over the years, we discussed many Gemaras, Mamare Chazal, and aspects of davening. Davening was very important to Joel. Joel's thirst for knowledge and understanding was limitless. This is what drove him. Having heard the Rav, Rabbi Yosher Ber Soloveitchik, and read his insights on a number of subjects, Joel was inspired to keep learning, to keep understanding his Yiddishkeit. He was a perpetual student. May you, Joel, be a Melitz Yosher, an advocate for which you are a consummate, for your dear wife and children, for your whole family, and for all Klal Yisrael. Bila hamaves lanetzach, may death be consumed forever. Umacha Hashem Elokim dima me al kol panim, and may Hashem, the Lord, wipe out tears from all people's face. Sandra will now speak.
Words were your thing. You were a writer, an editor, a grammarian, a speaker, our family historian. None of mine today will be adequate. Mom says you embodied strength in body, mind, and spirit. She is, as you've told us, usually right. Strong in body. When I was little, when you still had hair, you looked like Clark Kent. You were Superman, our hero, invincible. You loved speed. In your 60s, you climbed the mountains of Israel and kept up with the far younger Israel Cycling Club. You climbed the mountains out west and in Italy. You loved sports. You were an aggressive basketball player until you injured your knees. You were proud of your battle scars, broken bones from bike accidents. You fought like hell to recover. Strong in mind. You practiced law for 43 years. You said law was a calling, never a job. While your legal wins were honored, you were especially proud of the relationships you made and the time you devoted to mentoring young talent. I saw that even after you were admitted to the hospital, you were offering former colleagues praise on LinkedIn. After retirement, you continued reading about critical legal rulings and maintained your license to practice. You were a reader with eclectic interests: history, science fiction, politics, Jewish thought, especially Rambam and the Rav. You studied angels and started to write a book. You were succinct. Strong in spirit. You were deeply spiritual. We got to grow up watching you blow shofar on Rosh Hashanah, and we're honored that you came out of retirement for us last year. Chagim with family were your most treasured times. You were strong-willed, sensitive, confident, and generous. You were never sure if you were giving enough. You loved intensely, especially us. You provided for us in every way, with your time, your praise. You celebrated and saved our accomplishments, art. You never forgot to send a birthday greeting to your nieces and nephews, and you saved all the responses. Your spirit balanced Mom's. She says that you are the chachma to her seichel. She relied on your steadiness, level-headedness. You loved a wide range of music and saw some of the greats live. Anyone who stepped foot in your office witnessed you at Woodstock. In that spirit, teach your children well. An incomplete inventory of your lessons. How to appreciate the world, how to write, the healing properties and love language of ice cream. Embrace speed on the back of your bike or the passenger seat of your convertible. Take a picture with your mind. Notre Dame is ours, we built it. If you stand in the right spot in Central Park, you can time travel. If you have time to sit at the airport before your flight, you're too early. Wake up early to get the best spot on the beach. Eat your food quickly, a sibling might take it. Take everything from a hotel that's not nailed down. Everything has a point. A magic carpet can rescue you from a nightmare. Ride lots, live long, and prosper. I was looking forward to watching you age. There was so much left to do.
Meira.
As one of Joel's 3 children, I know my father best through his love. All 3 of us were loved as his children, and he gifted us so much. He showed us his love to us collectively and as individuals. Every Friday night, he gave each of us a blessing. And when one of us wasn't there in person, which happened often when we got older, he would give that blessing thinking intently of us wherever we were. It was one of the many ways he remained close to each of us from afar. My father was a man set to accomplish, whether it be a new thought project on Jewish philosophy or cycling up a new challenging mountain. He knew how to push himself to achieve, and he modeled that for us. Our father was strong, but he was also sentimental. He was caring and sensitive. He felt deeply, a keen observer of his surroundings. He could speak lyrically about nature or the architected world on the spot, describing his surroundings vividly and poetically. Dad loved trees. And standing here, I can imagine what he would say here. Even in the barest, most inhospitable season, he would express awe. Our father had a code that he lived by. So thoughtful of it, he could bravely state his point. But there remained a curiosity. The practice, the application of his code could change. And he helped us to develop our own codes. He fostered our growing minds, and it was a role he embarked on in earnest and with determination. I have many memories of my father as a teacher. We had conversations with a special rhythm. I could ask really whatever I wanted, and he gave answers. He stretched my thinking, and he would ask me questions. The questions that I imagine any of us would want someone you love to ask you. Borrowing from the words of Graham Nash, "Dad, you taught us well. I will hold on to what you taught me. You fed us on your dreams, to be ourselves, to go on our own roads." Judaism has what Rav Soloveitchik calls the unitive time consciousness, in which there is a tightening of bonds of companionship of present and past. May our Father's strength as a guide, a teacher, a supporter be remembered. May we preserve that bond. And may all the many ways he expressed his love be remembered always.
A brother, Harry. Alan.
Wait, sorry, Michael.
Michael. Oh, Michael. A son, Michael.
I'm sad this is happening. I know that my dad lived a beautiful life, but for me, even still, he was gone way too soon. He was a constant in my life, and I think I'd only notice that when he's gone. I knew he would be proud that this was held on the anniversary of Woodstock. I always knew my dad was so smart. I always knew he was immensely successful. I always knew he was insanely strong, and I always knew he had assertive confidence. But after looking at a collection of pictures, I noticed for the first time his constant, sweet, proud smile. I will miss his assertive voice and his sentimentality. I will miss his company, especially in Shul. I know as I got older, I would start getting there later and later, but it didn't matter to him. He welcomed me with open arms and his warm, sweet smile.
Joel used to use a piece of paper instead of these gadgets. Joel was very competitive. He tried his hardest, and he always won. He was my oldest brother. Nothing I say will be an exaggeration. Joel was driven by rules strict halacha. It would not allow any stretching of the truth or exaggeration. He would jump out of the box right there if anyone said anything not completely true and accurate. That, I guess, is my only exaggeration. Joel had a drive to be the best he can be, whether in the judicial court or the football field or the basketball court, or whether climbing the highest mountains on his bike. Joel started his life in Dorchester, Massachusetts, or as they say there, Dorchester. He lived in Dorchester until he, my parents, and other two siblings, Rachel and David, moved to Newton, Massachusetts. Joel was among the first in Boston to attend Maimonides School, when it was originally located in Roxbury, Massachusetts. He articulated the Rav's philosophy better than anyone else I know. In 2016, 2017, 2019, and another time, we discussed the meaning of all these tragedies that were happening to us. He instructed me to read various books of the Rav, including Kol Dodi Do Fake. I did not. I'm a Cliff Notes kind of guy. I said, Joel, why don't you just summarize it for me? And that he did. We spoke about the difference between fate and destiny, as understood by the Rav. Joel had an uncanny understanding of all this. You have a deck of cards and you have to play your best hand. Joel, I know you know that we indeed were handed a really awful combination of cards, and we tried our best to play our best hand. Joel was 16 when he graduated Maimonides. It coincided with learning how to drive a car as well. I remember Joel driving us to school one day, and it seemed to me, much younger, that we were going pretty fast down a pretty steep road, Buckminster Road, I think, on the way to school. Little did I know at that time that Joel would one day ride much faster, climb much steeper hills on his bike. The descent is more challenging, just like in life. I was only 12 when he and Sharon got married. Law school, Sandra, and then on to Chicago, Meira and Michael. Sharon was the first outsider to enter our family, and you will always be a part of us. Joel quickly made a name for himself in landmark First Amendment cases and antitrust cases. He was voted #1 antitrust lawyer in the Midwest, and for all those snobby East Coasters, in the top 10 nationally. A few days after Joel entered the hospital, Joel completed Bible 365 with Mayor Soloveitchik. Joel knew his Tanakh, and he prepared for these daily lectures. Joel would ask the most profound questions about contradictions only Joel noticed between this chapter and that chapter, and between one prophet and another. I do not know whether Joel ever received a satisfactory answer to his questions, because he would not insult anyone except me, who did provide an answer. Kol Joel, Kol Dodi Do Fake. I know that after you knock on the doors of our dad, our sister Rachel, and our brother David, you will proceed to knock on the doors of Isaiah, Jeremiah, King David, and all the other kings. They will open their doors and answer your questions. And those up in heaven who need someone to argue on their behalf will surely benefit. The prosecutors up there can be tough. I am sure that Joel will battle what's unfair, unjust, and what may seem like a monopoly up there. Joel never stood idly by his brother's side. In college, when someone attacked one of it and could have killed his friend, he intervened and taught the attacker a lesson. Similarly, he has always had the back of his family. Joel, we are so proud of all you accomplished in your limited time on earth. May your soul climb up to the highest peaks. Joel taught us how to lane. My older brother, me directly, and everyone else indirectly. All of us owe Joel a huge Thank you. Kadma in Hebrew means in the beginning, or before, I should say. And it's the first trup that you learn that he taught us. Kadma. And sof pasuk, the end of the sentence, sof pasuk.
When I was 15, I gladly gave up a family vacation in order to have the privilege of taking a 16-hour trip in the car nonstop with Joel from the East Coast to Lakeshore Drive. If I would have gone on the vacation, the memories probably would be blurred with the other vacations I've taken. But because I went on that ride, I still remember the details. I remember the sandwiches and the drinks that Sharon made and put in a cooler that sat by my side. I remember the triptych that I had to annotate per Joel's instructions. Every landmark, how long it took to get there, the elapsed time, and the amount of time between the two spots. I don't know why I had to do that. He probably never took another trip where the times were the same, but he was my brother. He asked me to do it. He was my wise older brother. He asked me to do it, so I did. It also kept me awake the entire time, so it was perfect. When we got to Chicago, he showed his love for his wife, Sharon, and for Sandra, who was an infant, by making me clean the bathrooms and brush and sweep the floors so that they would come to a nice, clean apartment. Having a brother who's 11 years older is such a wonderful thing. He taught me so much. So much of what I am today is because of the lessons he taught me. I have him to thank for being way ahead of the curve of my classmates. While they were listening to Top 40 on WRKO, I was listening to WBCN with Jimi Hendrix, The Doors, and The Who. I was in 3rd grade at that time. He taught me sports, and specifically the Boston teams, as he would cut out and hang on the wall the accomplishments that he would see in Sports Illustrated. It's where I saw the wonderful pictures of Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain. He taught me how to play basketball. Or I should be a little more specific. He taught me how to pass the ball back to him. But that was okay, because he was saddled with me, the youngest. This was before Daniel, and it was 2-on-2. So Alan and David thought they would have the upper hand by playing basically Joel by himself. But Joel was very good, taught me how to get the ball back to him when he's open, and he shot. So I learned how to pass. There are other wonderful things that he taught me. He taught me to appreciate my favorite author, Isaac Asimov, who I had never read until he made me read the Foundation series, trilogy, and right he was. He's the best author in science fiction I've ever read. And as has been mentioned before, he inspired me even today to continue always learning and dedicating myself to growing in my Jewish learning on a daily basis. He would always be sending me emails with Divrei Torah, and I will miss his annual Tu B'Shvat essay that he would always send me from Rav Lichtenstein. And Joel, I publicly ask for your forgiveness for any transgressions that I may have done to wrong you over the years. And I'm sure there were many, since it's been a lot of years. And I ask that you watch out, continue to be an older brother to your siblings. Look out for us. Look out for your wife and your children, your siblings, and your many nieces and nephews.
I was told that I need to follow the family eulogy rules, which Joel created. Since I don't remember them, if I violate any rule, hopefully Joel will forgive me. Let's start with Elton John, and we'll end with Eric Clapton and Steve Winwood. So switching out, Daniel, my name for Joel, your name. Sir Elton John sang, "Joel, my brother, you are older than me. Do you still feel the pain of the scars that won't heal? Your eyes have died, but you see more than I. Joel, you're a star in the face of the sky." Three qualities come to mind when I think of Joel. Smart, although of course Joel would use a more sophisticated word like erudite. Compassionate and ethical. I have no memories of Joel without his soulmate Sharon, so much so that as a little kid, I thought Joel's name was Joel and Sharon's name was Sharon and Joel. My oldest memory that I have is attending their wedding, even though apparently I was sleeping most of the time. So my memories of life literally began with their marriage. Joel was, as you've heard from others before me, this is what happens when you go last. Joel was a great basketball player. So much so, I once thought that John Havlicek, featured in old films playing for the Celtics, was really my oldest brother, Joel. After a knee injury ended Joel's basketball career early, Joel became an amazing road cyclist. I will always cherish our rides up Trail Ridge Road in Rocky Mountain National Park and throughout Israel on the Elin ride. Joel taught me, which is a theme here too, because he was such an incredible teacher. He taught me how to draft, climb a hill, and win a sprint. I was the first sibling to attend Yeshiva University since Joel's infamous time there. Smartly, Joel cautioned me to look confused if anyone asked whether we were related. Lahavdale, to the contrary, when I followed Joel's huge footsteps and embarked on a legal career, the biggest source of pride was being known as Joel's little brother. Taking under one's wing is an understatement to describe what Joel did for me and countless others over the years. Joel was not only a role model par excellence, but he would also literally give the shirt off his back to help anyone in need. Perhaps that's why Joel's not wearing a shirt in the infamous Woodstock photo. I learned so much from Joel during my law school years when he and Sharon took me in as part of their family and when our families lived near each other in Skokie. Sitting next to Joel and Shul each Shabbos, I learned how to daven properly, how to identify an inexperienced Baal Tefillah or Baal Koreh, and how to choose amazing reading materials for the inevitable downtime in Shul. One such book Joel read was a biography of Rabbi Akiva, which inspired Didi and I to name our second son Akiva. Joel was the coolest, most amazing oldest brother. No one my age could say that their older brother attended Woodstock Music Festival. Joel always had an amazing ear for music. Always the teacher, Joel taught me to appreciate Blind Faith as the greatest supergroup ever convened. Joel's favorite song on Blind Faith's only album was Presence of the Lord. Joel marveled at how the greatness of Eric Clapton's guitar solo competed with Steve Winwood's beautiful voice during that song. In the words of Mr. Clapton, "I have finally found a place to live in the presence of the Lord." Joel, you were as great a brother as you were a son, husband, father, uncle, and friend. May your memories always be a blessing.
We're up to the Kilmole. Yeah. El Mole Rachamim Shochein Bamiromim Hamtzei Menucha Nechona Al Kanfei Hashchina Bima'alos Kedoshim Utahorim Kezohar Harakia Mazhirim Es Nishmas Yosef Gershom Ben Menachem Aryeh Shahalach La'olamo Ba'avur Sha'anachnu Mispalim B'yad Haskaras Nishbaso Began Eden Tehei Menuchaso Lachein Baal Harachamim Yastirehu B'Seiser K'nafav La'olamim V'yitzror B'tzror HaChayim Es Nishmaso Adonai Hu Nachalaso V'yanuach b'shalom al mishkavo v'nomar amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can be seated. After the gentleman from the cemetery lowered Joel's casket into the grave and placed a cover of the vault, everyone is invited to place earth into the grave. The tradition is to place 3 measures of earth without handing the shovel from person to person. Please keep in mind we want to do this all by hand. So for the more able-bodied people, please, after everyone has an opportunity, then come forward. There'll be other prayers. We'll do the Kaddish. At the end of the service, we'll do a Shura, and you may offer the traditional words of consolation. It can be found on the back of the service folder. For Shiva information, please note it's all on the service folder, as well as contributions to the Tikva Fund, the Alien Hospital Wheels of Love and American Friends, the Digestive Health Foundation. It's all on the service folder. And for those of you who are online, you can find all that information on our website. Please keep in mind for the Shiva, the times of the Minyanim, but also it's an outdoor Shiva. So please keep that in mind. So in just a moment, you'll be asked to come forward. The family will go first, then everyone else will follow. For the people that are online, I am going to turn the volume off just for a few moments until we start have the concluding prayers. For anyone who needs to sign the register book, we'll have it set up. The register book, please. Folks, if you have not signed the book, please come forward now.
so good. I really appreciate the friendship of your brother.
If I could ask the family to come forward first. Family will go on this side or either side. We can have everyone else come forward now. Once again, please don't approach the family. Let them go underneath the canopy. At the appropriate time, you may offer words of consolation.
You're blocking the camera.
Apparently we're blocking the camera.
It'll be on our website.
People that are going to do Tziduk Adin, please gather next to the rabbi.
We're now going to do Tziduk Hadin. Hatsur Tamim Pa'alo, Kichol Drachav Mishpat, El Emunah V'Ein Avel, Sadik V'Yashar Hu. Hatsur Tamim B'Chol Poal, Mi Yomar Lo Ma Tifal, Hashalit B'Mata U'B'Ma'al, Me Misum Chayeh, Morid She'ol V'Yo'al. Hatsur Tamim B'Chol Ma'aseh, Mi Yomar Elav Ma Ta'aseh, Ha'omer V'Oseh, Chesed Chinam Lanu Sa'aseh, U'V'Schus Hanekad Keseh Hakshiva V'Aseh. Sadik B'Chol Drachav Hatsur Tamim, Erech Apayim U'Malei Rachamim, Chamol Na V'Chus Na Al Avos Uvanim, Ki Lecha Adon Haslichos V'Rachamim. Sadik Ata Adonai L'Hamis U'Chayos, Asher B'Yodechav Pikdon Kol Ruchos, Chalila Lechaz Zichronenu Limchos, V'Yuna Einecha B'Rachamim Aleinu Fikuchos, Ki Lecha Adon Harachamim V'Haslichos. Adam im ben shana yihyeh, u'elef shanim yichyeh, ma yisron lo, kilo haya yihyeh, Baruch dayan ha'emes me'mis u'mechayeh. Baruch hu, ki emes dino, shotet hakol ve'eno, shalem la'adam cheshbono v'dino, v'hakol lishmo hodoyod yitenu. Yadanu Adonai ki tzedek mishpatecha, Titzdak bidvarecha v'sizke b'shoftecha, ve'ein laharher achar midas shoftecha. Sadik ato Adonai, yashar mishpatecha. Dayan emes, shofet emes, tzedek ve'emes, baruch dayan ha'emes, shekol mishpatav tzedek ve'emes. Nefesh kol chai b'yadecha, tzedek mala yimincha v'yadecha, rachem al pleitas tzon yadecha, V'somar l'malach heref yadecha. Gedol ha'etzah v'rav ha'alilah, asher einecha fukuchos al kol darchei b'nei adam, laseis le'ish kedrachav u'chefri ma'lalo. V'hagid yashar Adonai, tsuri v'lo avlasabo. Adonai nasan, v'Adonai lokach, yishem Adonai mivarach. V'hu rachum, yichaper avon v'lo yashchiz, Yirba l'hashiva po, below Yair kol chamasa.
Did you wear those? Or what? When do you change into the sneakers? Now? You don't like sneakers? No. These are shoes. Oh.
Yeah, now. I think you supposed to do before you come to some
Yeah. Okay.
Just make sure to hydrate.
I knew he was doing it. I think he's the year end
also like to talk about the nutrition.
Just get a couple more sets or starters. We're almost there. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, if I can kindly ask the family to stand next to the rabbi as the people just finished the covering of the grave. In just a moment, we're going to do the Kaddish. After that, we'll ask everyone to help form a Shirah. They'll follow me, and the rabbi will lead everybody in the traditional words of consolation.
Skadal Skadash Megava Yamadu Asir Iskadacha Achaya Veshaya Asaka Lachaye Oma Livne Karta de Bushlein Shachleo Echale Begava Mehar Mukhana Nukhra Me'ara Asaba Pokhana Ishmael Asra Yamlich Kucha Bechel Mafosei Vikare. Chayechon Yomechon Chayei Obeis Yisrael. Ba'avola Uzman Kari
Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevorach Leolam Le'am Maya.
Yisadar, Yisaleb, Yishamo, Shmei Kushah, Yehu, Elam, Yisholter, Basar, Shirasa, Basar, Nechmasa,
Amen.
Shlomo Rabba, Min Shmaya, Chayin Lehu, Kol Yisrael, Biru,
Amen.
Shalom, Mama, Yaseh Shalom, Kol Yisrael, Biru.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I can kindly ask everyone to follow me for the Shirah. The immediate mourners will just stand underneath the canopy for one moment. Please follow me. Folks on this side, you're going to face the people on this side. This side, you're going to face the people on this side. Henceforth and out.
This concludes the service. We'll be ending the live stream at this time.